Hi Leo, welcome to December and the final month of 2019. Thank you for all your continued support to this channel over the last year. The last 2 years even, it's been a blast. I've started this channel and I've had it for I think since November 2017. December readings were my first set, so this is actually very exciting. It always feels quite reminiscent whenever this time of the year pops along. So the biggest thing that we have to deal with in December, well, one of the biggest things, there's quite a few, is the Capricorn energy. Yes, the beginning of December, right up until the 21st, 22nd, one of those days the sun moves into Capricorn. I can't quite, it's 21st. Right up until then, it is Sagittarian season, it is fellow fire sign season, but we do have a lot of Capricorn momentum building. We've had Saturn and Pluto there. The Capricorn Cancer axis with the North and South node. There's a lot going on to do with Capricorn energy, and it gets a real boost because Jupiter, the planet of abundance and the great benefic, Mr. Jolly Santa himself, moves into Capricorn on the 2nd. And for you, Leo, it would be a shame to underplay Jupiter being in the 6th house. I myself have Jupiter in the 6th house in my natal chart. And what this means is that you benefit through your career. You benefit through work. It's not the same as having Jupiter in the 10th. No, it's not. But your habits that you create can pay off handsomely provided you keep them. And with Uranus being in your 10th house, your career sector, Mars in your family sector as well, there's a lot of emphasis on what surrounds you environmentally. But what I'm looking to say is that Jupiter and Uranus trine on the 13th, and if you want to get a kickstart in working your way up the ladder and impressing the right people, it's a pretty good time to start. December is a pretty good time to start. 4 of Swords, Page of Cups, and the 5 of Pentacles. And I know that a lot of you are thinking, because tarot and astrology so often does take more emphasis, I think, on romance, a lot of you are wondering where that is. 4 of Swords, Page of Cups, and the 5 of Pentacles. Some Leos are feeling very lonely or out in the cold, romantically speaking, or just possibly feeling a little bit broke. So we begin the month, even though it's Sagittarius season and Jupiter is shifting signs. Jupiter is shifting from a sign that favours you so tremendously. Sagittarius energy is your 5th house of excitement, of fun, of creativity. It's everything Page of Cups. And I think you're kind of worried about it moving into a sign that doesn't necessarily flow as well with your energy. Capricorn. And yet we have such a provision here for power, but you're not feeling it yet. Jupiter in Capricorn is quite paradoxical in that it doesn't make much sense to have such a joyous, exciting planet in a sign that it can be quite restrictive. And I think you're kind of wondering about that too. Not to fear. The new moon in Sagittarius energy is still going. Mercury moves into Sagittarius on the 9th. The sun will be there right up until the 21st, and the full moon in Gemini on the 12th is going to be quite complementary to you. Gemini being, of course, your wishing house, your 11th house, your house of people. So if you're feeling a little bit tired, a little bit out in the cold, a little bit lacking in something in your life, Leo, keep the faith. Jupiter oftentimes bestows on us a gift of some kind. I think you feel maybe a little bit underappreciated or not seen. And you're sort of thinking with Jupiter, what did I get out of this? You got a lesson in your children. You learned something very significant there. You may have learned a very significant lesson in love. 5 of Swords. Perhaps you learned that love is in fact not a battlefield. Perhaps you feel a little bit shortchanged. Ooh. Capricorn energy. The devil. The devil is in the detail. As we shift into Jupiter and Capricorn, you're really reevaluating how you're feeling. Fives are so transitional. They're always that little bit before the success. It's always the revisiting your game plan, seeing your actions and thinking, this isn't working out for me. This needs to change. You're figuring out your habits. And then we get to Jupiter and Capricorn, when your habits are what are going to make things pay off for you. It's where you're going to see your successes. It's where you're going. Six of Pentacles, the Empress, the Tower, the World, the Five of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. I get you. Six of Pentacles. Your habits. The back and forth between people. Maybe you're feeling lonely because there was an imbalance. Maybe you're feeling a little bit out in the cold because you don't have the same way of interacting with someone as they do with you. The Empress, the Tower, and the World. Something that you thought was a sure bet, that was a sure deal, that was everything you wanted, Leo, came crashing down unexpectedly and felt incredibly final. I think for a lot of you it's to do with children. But I also think for a lot of you it could be to do with the mother, or it could be to do with a significant female in your life that would be the epitome of Empress energy. You know, seems to be very receiving. Very attractive, very powerful, but is receiving. Perhaps that is the problem. Perhaps there has been an imbalance. Perhaps you have felt undervalued, or you have led somebody else to feel undervalued, and something came to a sudden close over the last year that you are still wrestling with a little bit. Five of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. People in work might piss you off a little bit this month. You would do better to just say nothing. Unless you want to start from the bottom again. Chiron goes direct in Aries on the 12th, the same day as that full moon in Gemini. And the full moon in Gemini is very busy. Very busy. What would you expect from a Gemini full moon? And it is a wishing moon in many ways for you. Eight of Pentacles. But that means that you must continue to work at whatever it is that you wish for anyway. Judgment. Okay. And so, Leo, we come to a very, very, very big decision in December as we move forward to 2020. Judgment is 20. What you've been working for is about to be seen on a big level. What you have been holding to yourself, what you've been doing behind the scenes, which isn't really in your nature to be behind the scenes. You like people to know what you're doing if you're doing it well. And I think with the Eight of Pentacles and Judgment, it's kind of a wake-up call to the habits that you are putting in place. Are you eating too much? Are you eating too little? Are you exercising too much? Are you exercising too little? I have known so many Leos that have, and they're usually laden with Virgo in their chart, but Leos that put great stress and emphasis on their appearance to do with their physique. And I think for a lot of you, there could be a health scare there if you are not taking good enough care of your body. And Jupiter moving into your health sector, your habit sector, your day-to-day, is making you reevaluate your routine. And nobody's that interested in the 6th house until they lose their health. You don't appreciate it until it's flickering. So if I were you, Leo, I would really reevaluate your habits, drink more water, eat healthily, exercise for the sake of taking care of yourself. This is not a vanity exercise. And emotionally speaking too, if you're feeling out in the cold, consider why. The Four of Swords and the Page of Cups is isolating yourself from love, from warmth, from conversation, from the positive interactions, and then the Five of Pentacles is wondering why. The 4 came before the 5, always has done. Perhaps you have put yourself in a place of isolation and you don't know how to get out. You get out of it as we lead into Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter in Capricorn, that full moon in Gemini as well. Making awkward links to Neptune. Neptune being in a side of the sky for you that represents your darkness. Because the sun will always set. And then it will rise. And you will burn brightly ever yet. Now let's talk about the world, because the world is very indicative of feeling like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders about something career-wise. The truth of the matter, Leo, is that perhaps you are not quite in the right environment. Perhaps you need to be somewhere where you know you're being appreciated. And perhaps Jupiter is going to do that for you. It may involve starting again from scratch, from numero uno, but it will pay off to be something bigger. For a lot of you, you seem to be in that fresh out of university stage where you get in a job where you don't pay well. You know, where you feel like you're overqualified but you're not getting paid well. And it's more to do with the working your way up. And I think a lot of you are sitting thinking, I'm too good for what I'm doing. And the truth of the matter, Leo, is that you probably are. So maybe you need to revalue it. And Jupiter being in Capricorn is going to bring you the opportunities that are more deserving of you. All it asks is that you acquire the right habits, the right attitude, the right mental state. Romantically speaking, for those of you in relationships, you should communicate more. You should talk more. Venus shifts into Aquarius, and we'll go into this more in the mid-monthly. Venus shifts into Aquarius, your partnership sector, and that bestows with it a beautiful energy for your partnerships. Likelihood of meeting the right kind of people. If you're single, the right kind of dynamic, you know, an equal thing, where you trust that there is this balance. Venus moving into Aquarius will make you realize that perhaps you've not quite been laying the right foundations, or maybe you needed to change something in order to see that the right kind of people were under your nose. You just didn't see it for what it really was. And Venus shifting into Aquarius puts the focus on a bit of a wake-up call. And I think as well, for many Leos that are single, the Empress in the Tower is almost like lust at first sight. Whether it goes any deeper, you will find out as we move into 2020. You'll know by the end of the year if it's something deeper or not. But 'tis the season. It'll be interesting to pick up on that in the extended and in the mid-monthly. But, High Priestess, you've divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. I think the Eight of Pentacles in Judgment is a little bit of a wake-up call for you. Blossoming, you're just getting started, so have patience with yourself in the process and do not give up. See? Patience. It is a process. That is Jupiter moving into Capricorn for you, Leo. It is all about having patience. Things are shaping up nicely. I love Judgment as an outcome card because I am a Scorpio. Yeah. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. If you begin the month feeling a little bit lonely, a little bit isolated, You will find the support that you need. All you have to do is ask. The Great Gathering is all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. Yeah. Judgment is a lot to do with soul family, soul ties, soulmates. And Neptune being in that sector for you makes sense. The 8th house, I always associate the 8th house and the 12th house with soulmates, with those kind of connections. But it appears, Leo, that you find more of a soul purpose this month, I think. Jupiter in Capricorn is going to invite you to take on a new way of dealing with things and inviting in your soul purpose, figuring out what it is that you want to do. And I think you're going to figure out at least what direction you're going in, because it's a big step with Judgment. The 8 of Pentacles is you working at it, having the faith, having the belief that things are paying off and working at it anyway. The habits that you're forming, as I keep telling you, are setting you up for what you want. If you want work to be better, you may have to start again, because I don't think a lot of you like where you are. And if you don't like where you are romantically, you just have to examine what these power struggles are, what the balance is. Because the Empress is Libra to an extent, and Libra is all about balance. And I think with the Tower here, it's that crashing energy between Venus and Mars, Mars being in Scorpio, and really pushing you to examine what your barriers are, what your intimate barriers are. And that can feel challenging and that can feel tough. But let's not forget, we are in Sagittarius season. Things need to be light and to be enjoyed. Yes, there's a lot of Capricorn energy going around that's quite heavy. But you can still dance with this Sagittarian fiery sky, particularly when Mercury enters Sagittarius on the 9th, Leo. And when Venus enters Aquarius on the 20th, there will be love. And there will be balance, and there will be a big decision. Because we end in Judgment, which is the 20th. And that is, of course, the 20th of December. Perhaps something big happens that day. We'll get into it in the extended, and we'll get into it in the mid-monthly. Love you, Leo. I will see you guys in the next set. Bye.